Oh, right. Electra and I are fresh off a vacation to New York. Not together. We took separate trips, like, what, like 2 weeks apart or something like that?
Pretty much
Yeah,
about a
2 weeks
weekend.
apart. We both went to New York. Electra, how was your trip? Because you love going to New York. You go like way more than me. And I used
I
to live
love
there.
New York. I do go more than you do. Oh my God, it's always a blast. Honestly, when I was there though, it was pretty freaking cold. But the last 2 days, it was actually pretty hot. So it was crazy to see how it went from like 40-degree weather to about 70. It
Yeah.
was very
It's
contrasting, but it was
70
very
now.
good. What'd you
It's
say?
like 70 now.
Yeah, it's hot there, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like in the 50s when I was there. It was like
Mhm.
perfect weather.
Yeah.
It was just right when I was there.
Yeah, it's very windy at night. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. So where did you go? What did you do?
My sisters and I, so the Eternal Starlight,
That's
Suntora,
right.
Leo
Shout
Venus.
out.
Oh, yep.
Shout out.
We were in New York City a lot. We were in Times Square a lot. We were
Ugh.
just
Yuck.
going around to a lot of like the different the different areas of New York. I would say more of honestly, we did stay in Jersey. So we stayed in Jersey and we would have to go to the city every day, but it
Okay.
was very close. It was about 20 minutes on a bus.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like all those kinds of different areas. I would say like Times Square again, Central Park, things like that. So
All the
very
tourist
local, but
areas.
as beautiful as always. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
all the tourist areas.
Yeah, I would say so.
Everywhere I don't want to go when I go to New York, you go.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of people. I like people though, so I understand.
No, definitely the opposite. Definitely the opposite. But we'll talk about mine because I ended up going there when I was there, which I haven't gone the last two times. So I ended up being in Times Square. But where's your favorite place to go when you go to the city?
Okay, honestly, I really love around Central Park area. I wouldn't say like in Central Park, but I like the area where it's very calm. I don't know if I'm getting it right. It's kind of near the ferry that goes to the Statue of Liberty. I like
Okay,
that area as well. I don't know what it's called, I forgot. But it's really pretty and it's very calm and I feel like it's very beautiful. Just looks very nice, especially when the sun is setting.
right. That's wild.
Yeah.
So you like Central Park, but we were talking earlier. You didn't know you'd ever been to the Central Park Zoo.
Yeah, I haven't been to the
See, I
Central
would think
Park.
you'd have been there like 5 times by now.
I know, right? Honestly, maybe I'll plan it for next time.
You've been to New York more times in like last year than I've been in the 4 years that I've lived upstate.
That is so
That
funny.
shit is
I love
crazy.
crazy.
But I should be going back more as time goes on. I'm going back again one more time this year. No, I think I'm going back twice this year already. So I got my times planned.
Yeah, you're catching up to me,
I got to get my numbers up. That's embarrassing.
right? No, I'm
You're
just
there
kidding.
way more than me. What spots
Um,
do you like to like eat at? Do you have any favorite spots?
Man, I have been trying to go to Stoned for the longest. I don't know if you've heard
What
of
do
it.
they infuse everything with weed?
It's a THC induced
Oh
anything,
hell
basically
no.
pizza, chicken wings, desserts. But the only thing that I've heard, well, one thing I've heard about is that I know somebody who ate there and they were knocked out for like 2 days straight. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
a little
like
skeptical.
anything you eat with weed, like the littlest bit will mess you up. So it's like you're gonna eat a whole slice of pizza. You're gonna be out for a week.
I'm not trying to be deceased.
Hell no. Mm-mm,
Yeah,
I ain't trying
but
to get
besides
that
that,
stoned.
yeah, right? They have what's it called? Birria tacos. I think it's called birria. I can't remember if it's called that. I'm pretty sure, but it's like an outside taco place, and oh my God, I wish they had it
That's
here.
your
I
spot.
we've been craving it like crazy.
So you mostly stay in Manhattan every time you go. You don't go to like the other boroughs.
In different areas. We usually stay in Queens, Brooklyn more
Okay.
in Brooklyn, the Bronx. Every time, not the Bronx. I'm sorry, in New Jersey. It's been different every time,
Okay.
literally every single time.
Okay. But you have gone to the Bronx Zoo, which
Yes, I
we'll which
have.
we'll bring up in a minute because I took my trip last week and man was it a trip. It just first of all it started off with me having diarrhea. Let's just get that
Oh
straight.
God, at
I
the
don't
zoo.
I don't know no not at the zoo. The zoo was later. There was a couple great parts of my trip and there was
Mhm.
just a couple of I don't even know what to call them. I don't know if to call them lowlights. It was just interesting
Lit-
aspects of my trip. There was
Turd-
one where I had diarrhea at my friend's house, and
Okay.
then she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna give you this tea. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help your stomach, right?" So I'm like, oh, I don't really need it. I took a Pepto-Bismol. She's like, no, no. She just makes me the tea anyway. And she's like, listen, just take 3 sips of this tea. It's going to help your stomach. I forgot what she said it was supposed to be, like turmeric or something like that. And she's like, yo,
Mhm.
this is gonna heal your stomach right now. So I drank the
Yeah.
tea. I drank like 3 sips, like, oh, it's okay, whatever. I'm
Stop.
still going to the bathroom, right? And she, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes later, she calls me in. She goes, you're gonna be really mad at me. And I was like, what? She's like, that tea I thought was such and such, but really it's this thing. And she's like, do you know what it does? And I'm like, I can imagine. And she's like,
Me
it loosens your bowels. I was like, bro, they were loose enough. What do you mean?
too.
No wonder I'm still shitting everywhere.
Times. Oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
bro, thanks a lot. Thanks for. And she usually helps me out on every other aspect, but this was just a little oversight, I would say.
Had to let him out. Let
Just a
out the new
tad. My bowels were already loosened enough in that moment.
Just-
So that's how
Oh
my
my.
trip started. Okay, that's how it began. Then I go to my buddy Clay's house, which we all know. We all know and love Clay. And as you can see, I have an injury on my hand because when I was at Clay's house, he has a beautiful dog named Shally, who I've known for a long time. She's 10 years old. She's not a puppy, and we were
Uh,
hanging out. And I hung out with her the first day, and I patted her on the head, and she started growling at me. I'm like, okay, probably not gonna do that again. But
okay.
she doesn't like do anything crazy. She hangs around, she sniffs you, she chills out, blah blah blah. So then I just kind of forget that she even growled at me. And
Yeah.
then the next day I'm playing video games, hanging out, and she's sitting in my spot on the couch. And she looks really cute. She's like, it's like a little dog. She looks nice. She looks just so cute. So I end up reaching to pet her back, and bam, she snaps onto my hand, bro. And did
Oh
not,
yeah.
she treated my hand like a rat, like if she was killing a rat. Like she just chomped on, and then just started shaking my hand. And I was trying to get it out, bro. She got a nice piece of my hand, bro. There was blood everywhere, blood on the
Oh my
floor.
goodness.
Oh
Are you
my
okay?
god. Yeah, I had to. I did not expect to get a tetanus shot on my trip to New York, but I had
You had
to.
to get one?
Yeah, I had to get one. I thought about it at first. I was like, should I get a tetanus shot for this? And then I said, nah. But then then a few people were like, did you get you don't want to get a tetanus shot? I was like, oh, I guess I should. I thought it was only for like nails and stuff, but I guess it's for
Um,
dog bites. And I can't remember the last time I got one, so I was like, I gotta get one now.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, so Shally took a nice little piece of my hand. It was great. It was wonderful. She looked like she had a great time playing with my hand.
Definitely.
And I was there for like the rest of the week, and she was fine. Like she didn't even. I just didn't touch her again. I just didn't even. I did
Wow.
not even
To
go
let her
near.
anger out.
She would come to sniff me, and I get all tense. Like, oh boy, you gonna take a chunk out of my leg now? Like, what's about to happen?
Deadass.
But other than that, she's a real sweetheart. That was the first. I don't think I've ever been bitten by a dog. That was the first
Really?
time. Yeah, that was the first time I ever got bit by a dog, let alone my friend's dog.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
It
it was
hurts
pretty
different,
wild.
right?
It
Yeah.
hurt. Oh my god. She dug her fucking teeth in there. It moved her head around like she had a great time.
I'm sorry, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Like,
she had a great time with my hand. So
yeah,
then
clearly.
that was another aspect of my trip. Then I decide that I'm gonna do something I never really do, and that's go to the Bronx Zoo. So
Okay.
Cemetery Girl and I go to the Bronx Zoo, and it's a Wednesday, which I knew that Wednesday is like free zoo day, so you can go for free if you sign up. I didn't know you had to sign up online, so we ended up paying like I think half price or something like that. So
Uh-huh.
it's basically like a free day at the zoo for a lot of people. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay. It's gonna be. I said the zoo's gonna be a zoo. It's gonna be a little packed. So we go in, and it is like 10 times more packed than I can ever even imagine. It was
Okay.
like walking through like a street in Times Square, but the
Yeah.
whole zoo, the whole you couldn't. Like, we're like bobbing and weaving in between people. You can't even see any animals because there's like ten
Uh-huh.
thousand people in front of you, and we're lost because we didn't bring a map. We're looking for like, oh, she wants to go see like a panda or something like that, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And we can't even find everything. There's people behind us. There's people in front of us. And then I realized, I was like, oh, there's a lot of families here. There's a lot of children here.
Mhm.
That's because it was spring fucking break. And
Oh,
I didn't realize
duh.
it till I got there.
Wait, in April?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in
Well, I don't know
March.
if
Oh
it's
no.
spring break, but it's my nephew was off. So I
Oh,
found that out on Tuesday night and I didn't even think about it.
yeah.
So my
So
mom was
there's
like,
a
"Oh, your nephew's off for the week or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just said, "You know what we should do? Let's go to the Bronx Zoo on free Wednesday
on Free
with all the kids
Wednesday.
off of school." And
Oh my God.
man, those kids were coughing and
Ew.
sneezing. All I looked at her, I said, "We're getting the fuck out of here." Only thing
No.
we got to see was the red pandas. We got to see the red pandas because we snuck into like the wooded. There's like a wooded area that you're not supposed
Right.
to go in. That's like next to where the exhibit is, and we just
Right.
snuck in there. We looked at the panda, and then we kept hearing the sneezing and the coughing and the
Oh,
hacking. I mean,
nasty.
it
Ooh.
was just like it was just. I've never seen the zoo like that ever.
Ooh,
It was
it was.
horrendous.
It was a zoo everywhere.
We
Shit.
probably spent 15 minutes in there.
I would have dipped
We probably,
too.
I think I spent 30 because then another 15 was her trying to go to the bathroom. The bathroom line was out of
Yeah, I
control.
was about to say that. The
But
line
she
was
had to go
ridiculous.
so bad. So I was like, all right, I'll wait for you to go to the bathroom. It was
Hell
an
no.
absolute, then some little kid is like stabbing me with a sword and his mom is
What?
there. She's like looking at him. It's like a fake sword.
Wait,
He's just
she
like, he's
stopped
like
him?
looking at, yeah, he's like stabbing me and I'm like, and his mom is just looking at him and she doesn't even care. This kid is harassing me. He's like
Happening.
3, so I'm just like, I'm just playing along. I'm like, oh my god, but I'm like, I don't really want to be poked right now, kid. Like, thanks a
Yeah.
lot. No, mom's just hanging out, doesn't even care.
Jesus.
It was
This is
an
crazy.
absolute mess, man. It was an
Ugh,
absolute mess.
honestly, that
I
is
did go to
really
Times Square, and that was a mess. I did go to Fordham Road. You ever been to Fordham in the Bronx?
Fordham?
Yeah.
No.
Ugh,
No.
don't go, dude.
What
I
is
didn't
it?
even go. It's just like it's like a Times Square version of the Bronx, I guess. It's just like very populated. Like there's stores everywhere. It's not like
Uh,
exactly like Times Square, but there's stores everywhere. There's people everywhere. Every time I go there, somebody's either getting beat up. Like
mhm.
every time I went there, somebody got beat. I think somebody got shot last time we were there. Like when we were there, they had the police tape out. Yeah, they had the police tape out, and I think Cemetery Girl said somebody got shot. So every
Oh
time I
my
go there,
God.
somebody's getting injured. Somebody's getting harmed. There
Oh,
used to be a guy around there that Dre and I used to see when we would go. He was like this.
mhm.
He was like this guy who used to take pictures of his penis and staple it to himself.
Are you
Swear,
serious?
yeah, like and tape it to himself. He had like pictures of his penis tabled. Like yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
Fordham is just packed. It's just
Oh
too
my,
much noise. I hated it, but we ended up stopping to get some good food, so that was good. We got some good food.
it can make up a whole day.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was definitely a day. My feet hurt after the day. We went from the Bronx Zoo to Fordham to Times Square, but we had a good time. We went to the movies, and let me tell you, the movie theater concessions like $10 a pop for everything now. It was like ten
Yeah,
dollars for popcorn.
$8 to $12 now for
I was
everything. Yeah,
like,
pretty much. You're right.
yikes. I was like, damn.
It's also because of I think the area. You feel me?
Oh
They
yeah,
know. They know
yeah,
motherfuckers gonna
definitely.
pay. You feel me?
So other than having diarrhea, getting bit, and possibly getting some kind of disease that I don't know, because kids got all kind of shit. You gotta ask Dre. He's always sick from the kids he's working with. So
Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
expecting to walk out of there with some kind of fucking flu, some kind of new strain of the flu out of the
Oh,
Bronx Zoo. Thank God, nothing yet. I don't know if it's incubating, but I
I
walked. Besides that, this was like the best trip to New York I've ever taken.
I'm happy for
I
you.
hung out in Staten Island for like the whole time,
Yeah.
and all I did was play Xbox. That's like
Okay.
literally all I did was
Or
play the new
something else.
RoboCop game. And let me tell
Mhm.
you this: I saw the RoboCop game come out. I saw the trailer. I said, it looks alright. Like it looks like whatever. I'm probably never ever gonna play it. Well, Keith had it on his Xbox, and I played that shit for days. I was
Right.
really trying to beat that, yo. RoboCop is the shit.
Damn.
You're
Okay.
blasting people's heads off. There's like all different kind of enemies. There's like these different like there's like robot enemies, human enemies. I'm not even paying attention to the story because I'm just trying to get through the game. Like they're just talking and I'm just fast forwarding through all the dialogue. I just want to
Oh,
shoot people. I just want to choke people out, blow people up. It's kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a long game, I think, because I played it for a couple days and I didn't beat it yet. But now
mhm.
I'm tight because now like I'm gone and now my game is gonna be they're gonna play over my game now.
Right.
So now I gotta
Oh my
buy an
God.
Xbox because I don't even have the Xbox to play it. I gotta get Xbox S. So now
Mhm.
I gotta get a new Xbox so I can
What the
play
fuck?
RoboCop all over again. It
Yeah,
was it was the best, dude. Like I literally just ate and played RoboCop for most
amazing.
of my vacation.
That sounds like heaven.
If you guys ain't played that shit yet, you gotta get on the RoboCop. The only thing
Shit.
I don't like
I'm
is I had to upgrade him because he's like a robot, and I didn't
uh
even know how. I'm not even good at anything like that, so I had to like upgrade his motherboard. I don't even know how to do that. So
That
luckily
sounds
Keith was there to do it for me. He was like, "All right, I'll hook you up. I'll get your guy ready to go." And I accidentally erased Keith's game, so his guy was like suited out, like he had everything. He got all the guns, all the hardware, and I just erased his game.
I
So
know
that
he was
was
broken.
obviously that was a bad move. I felt very bad about that.
I don't
So I'm
blame
sure
you.
he's playing it right now, upgrading the game again.
Probably even better
Oh
than the
yeah, oh
first.
yeah. That dude's a nut. Every game he has, he maxed it out. He played Harry Potter. He got every wand. He got every cloak. He got every animal.
Every Fortnite skin or whatever.
That's it. Because I don't even play video games here anymore. I rarely play video games in my house. So to me, a
Right.
vacation is just playing video games. Clay said I'm a very easy person to please. Just give me sugary drinks and a
Mhm.
console, and I'm good.
Good.
I don't need anything else.
Right there.
I don't care if the dog bites me. I'm fine. I'm staying. I'm
Yeah, I
still
was gonna say
playing.
I like how optimistic you are. I like that.
I was like, listen, I touched her, so I started it. You know, she popped off on me. I touched her first. She growled at me the first time. That was her
Very
warning.
mature.
I was like, listen, I gotta play. I don't care about no injury. I gotta play my RoboCop. I don't care fuck what happens to my hand. I'll play with one hand. I gotta
Got to.
do. I gotta do it. So it was the
Yeah.
best trip. It was definitely the best trip I've ever taken there. I've taken three. This is the third one, and this was the first trip that I was like, do I want to move back? Like, I've never said that before. I'm always like, nah, never. I never go back. Not a chance.
Yeah,
I
you used to
mean,
say that a lot. You're like, I hate it
oh, I
there.
hated it. It was
Fuck that.
terrible. I went on the train so much. Like, and I mean, I know that it's worse now on the train, but I didn't experience any of it when I was there.
Yeah, you see, it's all about is perspective. Because even when I was there, when we were there, it was so much. It was fun as fuck. There was
Yeah.
not an issue. Yeah, we saw a Dookie in the subway, but
Well,
like
that's
not in the
nothing.
subway,
That's I
in
grew
the
up seeing
staircase
that.
subway. But like, whatever. It
I
was
think if I
fine.
was commuting every day, I'd see a lot because most of my like that's when my friends see a lot of stuff is when they're commuting, not really like going out on the weekend. It's just like the more you take it, the more you're gonna see. But there's definitely a lot of people smoking K2 on the train and smoking crack on the train, which I've definitely seen my fair share of, but I think it's a lot more now.
Yeah, you're probably right. I still think,
So
thankfully, it's about perception.
right.
So manifesting, seeing the best.
I
You
guess
feel
I
me?
manifested the best trip to New York yet because that's what this was.
I love that for you.
Just fucking ate and chilled. Had a few days where I went out, but really most of my time was inside, which is
Very
everybody
chill.
knows that's what I love about. That's how I want my vacation to be,
As a,
inside. 1 or 2
yes,
days where I walk around and I do things, but most of the time I just want to hang out. I
I
just want to
understand.
chill. Like I'm not that active. You know what I mean?
Active. Yeah, I get you entirely.
So I should be back to New York very very soon.
It'd be so fun for you.
You got any more planned for the rest of the year?
Me, honestly, I might. Don't know. We might go back to New York in June as well, actually.
Really?
Yes, we might. We don't know yet. But besides that, we wanted to plan some more travels and things like that, but I think it's more about waiting to see the perfect time for everything, you
You
know?
gotta wait for
So
the
we're gonna
perfect
wait, we're
time.
gonna see. And yeah, that's basically it. But I want to live my best life no matter what. So it's
Would
gonna
you
be a
ever
great
move
year.
there?
To New York?
Yeah.
I've definitely, since I was little, are you kidding? When I was little, I used to cry obsessively because I wanted to live in New York.
Wow.
I have family there and I just loved it there and this and that. And even as of I remember last year in March 2023 when we all went to New York, I began to miss New York again in that way where not crying and all that, but more of just I really want to be here. And I feel like there's a place in New York for me. I do feel like that. I feel like maybe own a property there and somewhere else maybe, but
Property, man. You better you got some good investments. You getting property in New York?
yeah, you gotta,
You making
you
some
gotta
big.
be
You gotta be
able
making some big
to
money
down
to do that.
to
You're paying a lot for just like a one bedroom over there.
fuck that. If I'm gonna live in New York, it has to be top tier. So I'll wait it out,
You want to live
whatever it
like
is.
in the city, or you want to live on the outside and then get it like travel in the city?
Mm. You know, it's actually funny. The last time when we were there, we were talking about how living in New Jersey low-key seems more ideal, only because I feel like New Jersey is a lot cleaner for one. I need cleanness. I need clean shit.
Right.
I
New
feel
York
like
is
the
definitely not
people,
clean.
I feel like it's different. What'd you say?
I said New York is definitely not clean.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I do like that Jersey's. It's like an not an off-brand version of New York, but it's a different version that you're easily able to commute to New York. So if I were to live in New York, it'd probably be in Jersey, and
Okay.
then I would just go over to New York anytime I please.
There you go. That's what you got to do. That's a good
Exactly. You got to
idea.
make it work, you know?
Did you see any of the new turnstiles? Because I didn't see any of those. You know the new turnstiles they apparently got, where it's like you can't hop it or you can't get around it at all. I think it's
No,
like
what is
like
that?
like it's like
Turnstile?
doors now. I think it's like plastic doors. They have like these new turnstiles they're working on, so people they're big
Oh,
on stopping fare evasion right now in New York City. New York City, they got nothing better to do because the crime is so low there that really they just focus on fare evasion like that. Nothing's happening at all where they need to focus on anything else except people
all
hopping
that.
the train. That's exactly what New York should be focusing on is people hopping the train, not any of the murders or any of anything else that's happening there. People cutting each other's faces, which happened a lot when I was there, but now it's like happening even more now. And they'll just let people out the same day. My friend's a cop, and he says like he'll arrest a guy that got like a bunch of assault charges and a bunch of felonies. They'll find him with like a big knife that's like as big as a machete, and next thing you know, the guy's waving goodbye. He's right back on the street, and he'll arrest a guy like another week later, and they'll let him out. So New York is really they got their priorities in check as they always do.
Uh, they're just lazy? Like, I don't understand.
No, they're not. No, because now they're working on. Apparently, they're working on getting gun detectors in the subway. Because
Okay.
if there's one thing New York should do is spend money on gun detectors. That's what not anything else like education or. We should totally spend money on AI gun detectors. So that way, when the guy gets caught with a gun, nothing will happen anyway. The guy will
They'll just,
just go get a new gun.
yeah, that is incredible. I did not know that.
Yeah, I was hearing about that while I was down there. That apparently they're trying to test out gun detectors in the subway. Which now their new thing is they want a more police presence in the subway, but it's like you can't spread. Okay, they want police presence in the subway, but then they're gonna cut down on the police. So it's like you're gonna put the officers in the tracing, but you're not even gonna have that many officers to begin with. So that doesn't
Exactly.
make any sense.
It's
And
not.
yeah, that's their new thing is keeping the subway safe. So they're gonna have these. Apparently, they're working on these gun detectors for so they're gonna just spend a bunch of money, and they're not even gonna be in all the stations by the way, because it's impossible. So it doesn't even make sense. They're gonna have them like in Times Square, probably have them on like 59th Street. They'll probably have them on like maybe 14th Street. So it's like you don't think the guns are gonna come from everywhere else?
Yeah, seriously? That's insane.
They're so. It's just like you can't. You're not going to be able to stop the leak. You're not going to be able to stop it by putting gun detectors in 5 stations.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. I'm
No,
disappointed,
New
I'll
York
be
is.
honest.
I mean, they know what they're doing. Mayor Adams. Did you ever see when he went on the Breakfast Club and he was talking about how he used to roll. What did he say? He
No,
used to. I have it in my phone.
he used to
This
roll.
this was a classic here.
I know what it is to buy a nickel bag and make 8 joints so mommy can feed herself. I know what it is to run numbers.
He knows what it is to break down a nickel bag into 8 joints.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
if nickel. First of all, they don't even like make nickel bags anymore. That stopped when I was like in 8th grade. But if
Yeah,
anybody remembers what a nickel bag was, it was this big.
it's
It's
big, bro.
$5. $5 worth of weed is like a joint.
Wigs, I'm asleep
My
because what
man,
the fuck?
I don't know if he meant an ounce. I
I
don't know if he
hope he
meant he
did.
was buying an ounce and breaking it down for
People
to make
each
some
other.
joints. But honestly, I mean, that's what I want to. That's exactly the credentials I want in a mayor, is that he was dealing drugs. That's exactly what I want to hear. And not only do you say that, but you get it wrong. So it's like either you're being disingenuous, which is definitely the case, like when Hillary Clinton went on the show and she said she carries hot sauce in her bag when she was running for president. Like we all, yeah, like we believe that one. Sure. Yeah, sure, buddy. We really bought that one. I don't know why the politicians love to come to the Breakfast Club and they love to just act like, like they're so urban. It's
Yeah,
so transparent, man. It's so
I
ridiculous.
say. I
This is the
agree.
mayor that literally has a theme song when he goes into the press conferences. He plays Empire State of Mind. Did you ever see that?
No, what the
He
fuck?
plays Empire State of Mind when he comes into New York, which is literally, honestly, not even like a New York song. Like it is, but if you
Yeah,
ask me to play make a New York playlist, that's not the first one on my playlist.
yeah.
That's like
What it,
at the end. I'm gonna
what would
put
be
on some, I'll probably put the New York song that Jadakiss and fucking Fat Joe made when I was. That's a way cooler song,
that
like
is crazy that you say Jadakiss. I watched Honey, the movie, Honey, the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
with Alba the other day, and in the movie she's in Jadakiss's music video,
I
and
forgot
you
about that.
saying that just reminded me of
I
that.
forgot about that. Yeah, so he'll
Yes,
come out, he'll play Empire State of Mind like everything's great, everything, everything's awesome in New York, like it's not overrun and overpopulated and like people are just in the streets everywhere. It's just like a beautiful place. And let me tell you this, I heard Empire State of Mind in Times Square and I just wanted to vomit because I've had enough of that song.
I've heard that song so many times in New York in Times Square.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
It's like the tourist national anthem
It's
that they play
exactly.
on purpose.
Exactly. It's a tourist national, and you know who's playing it? I didn't even realize it. You know those guys that have the bikes and you can ride in the
Yes,
back
they play
for like
it.
50 $50 for 2 blocks. It's like,
Yes.
okay, so if I do pay for this, do I want music blasting behind my freaking head? Let alone this shit that I've heard this a million times. I
I got a
cannot even
headache.
count, and then it was stuck in my head for the rest of the day, which pissed me off because I don't even like it anymore.
Oh my
Like I
gosh,
liked it
that
when
is
it came out, and then it was played out.
it's always just Alicia Keys' part.
Yeah, they
That's
don't
it.
even play. Yeah, exactly. That's the part I always hear. It's like they put on a loop.
New York.
They put on a fucking loop. I remember when I was on the wrestling team, and it was the year that song came out. And they're like, oh, what do you guys want to come out to? And I'm like, oh, how about we come to something cool like like Metallica or like DMX, or how about we come out something like really like we're gonna fuck you up type of music. Like how about
Yeah.
Empire State of Mind? And
Oh
that's
my
what we came
God,
out to for a whole year. Empire
Was it
State of Mind.
not a wrestling song.
No, I did not feel like I wanted to do any wrestling. I felt like I just wanted to just get out of there. I felt embarrassed.
That is so funny.
I'm doing
so
push-ups to Empire State of Mind right now. Like that's gonna strike fear in the opponent's heart. The other
Right?
kids are coming out to Metallica, and they look all tough, and no, here we come out to fucking Alicia Keys.
Bye.
It was bad. It was bad, and I haven't heard that song till I went to Times Square. I have
Yeah.
not heard that song in like years. It does. It's like not on anything that I watch or anything like that. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, ugh. I did
I'm
not.
its sleeve
It was
came there.
played out.
Yes.
But of course, that's a song that the beautiful mayor comes out to. Our wonderful drug dealing mayor who is on top of crime. The guy on top of things. He knows exactly what's going on.
New York has so much potential.
Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get him out of here. We need to get him out of there. I don't think I've ever in my life disliked a mayor before. This is the first time in history. Either I'm getting older, or he's just that bad.
I'm sleep. He said I'm getting older, or he's just that bad.
Yeah, either I'm
Maybe
just getting into politics, or he's just that bad. I don't even
understand.
know. I don't even know. But switching gears right now. Late Night with the Devil. new horror movie that hit streaming services and apparently is breaking records right now. I didn't see
Oh, it is
exactly what records, but I saw the headline and that was good enough for me. So I'm just going to repeat the headline and say it was breaking records on
right now.
streaming sites. It's a movie that is set in the, what is it, the 70s or the 80s, right? Something like that?
70s,
Yeah,
yeah.
the 70s, of a talk show host who is doing a Halloween special and he has a possessed girl on the show. And that's really all the synopsis I'm gonna say. I don't want to give too many spoilers out, but we watched it last night. What did you think of the movie?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I actually really thought it was very interesting, very dark. The ending isn't good, which is fine because it's not like good, not I don't mean good in the way that it was bad for me. I'm
Yeah,
saying the energy wasn't good, but
it was like a
I
bad ending for the
actually
movie, for like the
yes, I
story.
thought it was yes, I thought it was very informational in the sense. I like how it opened up with how the 70s had a lot of demonic things in it, like Charles Manson and all these cults and all that stuff, because that is very true. But the one thing that bothered me, if I'm honest, I really did not like how none of these actors had a 70s type voice at all. They all sounded modern day. All of
Really, a
them. They sounded
70s voice. I gotta look that up and see what a 70s person. What does that
Oh,
sound
look
like?
it up. You'll hear it. You'll hear a difference. They sounded like
Really?
they were just on TikTok on break 5 minutes ago. I don't know how to explain it. Like they just had the normal modern day
Wow.
voice, and it bothered me. But besides that, it was very interesting. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was very dark, yes, but very accurate. I will say that. It's very accurate for sure.
Right, right. You already know what's going on there. You like the possession scene and all. The possession scene was good when she
Yes, a lot of the
finally like when they let the demon out, I guess, and the demon takes over her body and she's talking to the camera. That
and
was
even
actually good.
the hypnosis part, it was that's very
Oh,
accurate as
the
well because
hypnosis part was really good because you
they
were like,
believe
"What the
that
fuck is going on?" And then it's like not that, but then it is that. It's crazy.
like the demon stuff, that's really how it is. They make you see things that aren't there.
Yeah. And I like
And
how you said in the beginning where they showed the background in the 70s, but I like
yes,
how they don't not only showed the background in the 70s, but the beginning kind of looks like a documentary and then it leads into like the actual movie itself because
like
it
that.
has like a narrator and it shows the progression of the talk show and the guy's life and how they end up where they are in that point in that time, like how they end up at the Halloween special, like why they're there. This is not a big spoiler, but the guy's wife dies and like the show is tanking, so they're like trying to get ratings, which is why they end up having this possessed girl on, and they don't like get her off when they should. They
Yeah,
there's a point where they're like, all right, you shouldn't have this girl on anymore. He's like, well, we need these ratings right now, so
yeah,
we got to keep her on. So I did like that aspect of the movie, the beginning when they kind of gave you the rundown of how the guy started the show, and it's like maybe
I love
10
that
minutes,
too.
maybe not even, and he shows his life and everything, and then they just go, okay, and then it's essentially a found footage movie where they're like, all right, well now we're gonna show you what that whole airing of the talk show. Like we're not an unedited version of the talk show plus behind the scenes stuff that
Yes,
was
I like
captured.
that.
I was
It
like,
was
I
like
like the way they formatted the movie.
very much. I did too. I was unsure at first if the narration was going to continue throughout the whole movie, but I actually liked that it was like the first 10 minutes, it showed a very clear picture of what was occurring, how it was happening. And then yeah, I just thought it was very interesting, especially the behind the scenes stuff, because usually it was more of the way that the camera was okay, you're going behind the scenes or like you're going behind stage, the camera would just follow the person behind stage. It wouldn't be like a cut.
Yeah,
Now they're
yeah,
behind. It was very continuous within
yeah.
everything. I like that a lot.
And they definitely made it good. Like they changed the way the cameras were for the behind the scenes, so it didn't look like
Yes,
the talk shows. Like definitely two distinct looks.
yes.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like the cast, what they did. Not like the actors, obviously, but like the characters were good. How they had the
It was,
skeptic there that was like totally just calling bullshit on everything for the whole movie until everything popped off, and then my man was sick after that. Like he was tight.
shit
But
hit the fan.
they did a good job of doing the background on why the girl was there. I like that
Yeah,
too. It wasn't like, oh, this is just some possessed girl. Like she
yeah.
just played with a Ouija board and she was possessed. They gave her a good backstory, which I'm not gonna say. I don't want to like. It's not a huge spoiler, but I'll just leave it to I'll let you guys watch that. But I like where she came from and how she came to be and how she was possessed.
I entirely agree. I really thought it was interesting, especially when she would state things as though, oh, wait, okay, we mentioned that she's possessed. So I didn't want to spoil too much, but basically the point where she as well was talking about, oh, I apologize if the demon says anything rude and things like that. Because that's really how it is. She said that she couldn't remember, the things that the demon was saying through her. That is
Yeah.
actually how it is when you are possessed.
And the
So,
girl did a great job of playing herself and like a creepy demonic possessed, because they could
yeah,
that's where they could have messed it up when they did the possession scene. I was like,
yeah,
how's this gonna go? And I really like, at first the voice was different, and then it slowly, as you can see, like it was like her voice was dominating, and then the demon's voice was slowly creeping up, and then eventually it just became like the demon's voice. You know what I mean? Like when she first started talking with the voice, it was kind of like low key under her breath, and then it would
yeah,
slowly escalate to only by the end of the movie, it was just straight. She was straight possessed.
exactly. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
That movie was
And when
crazy.
shit popped off, it
It
popped
popped.
off.
Yes.
I was like, yo. And in the movie, I mean, I did watch it like in sections. I like started to watch it, and then I went to do something, and not because I was bored. I just like had to do stuff that day. But it felt like the movie was quick. Like it didn't feel like it
It was
dragged.
very quick. I mean, besides the fact I'm used to watching like 2 hour long movies, this movie was about an hour and 36 minutes, I believe, or 38
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
Not long at all. Very,
But it didn't
very
drag. They didn't have anything in that I was like, okay, they could have cut this out. This was kind of boring, or
drag.
like this didn't need to be like the whole dynamic, because it's like him. He wants to keep the show going. People are telling him to stop doing the show. He's like, nah, fuck that. His producer's telling him to keep going. There's like a bunch of stuff going on at the same time. And I thought it made for a very interesting story. And two things I loved about the movies, two things I like about a lot of like movies that stand out to me, are movies that happen on like on during like plays, or that are made during movies. But this is like a
Yeah.
TV show, but it's like the same thing. Like I like to watch a movie that's set during a play or a movie or a TV show. For some reason, I always like that. I like horror movies or books that are set during like filming of something. And the other thing is, I like movies that are set and they only take place on one night. That the whole thing is either a night or through one day. It's not days, it's not months. Like everything happens in a day or one night, like Clerks. Or I used to like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. You ever seen that? It's like a rom-com movie, and it takes place like in one night pretty much. But I love movies like that where it's just one night done. Like the whole thing takes place in sequence of events like that. So that's what I immediately liked about it. And I can't find much wrong with it. Like there's not really anything I could say that I guess I wish there could have been more possession stuff, but for what they were doing, it's like you really couldn't fit any more in. That was it.
Yeah.
Like they did as much as they could with the possession. So although I would have liked to see a little more, like maybe it could have been a little longer in my opinion.
It could have been. I agree. I think a 2 hour, around an hour 50 mark would have been
Yeah,
perfect-ish.
another 10 minutes of her like doing some crazy shit, I wouldn't have minded at all. Because when it started to pop off, I was like, is it over? I was like, no way. And then it kind of goes to that little ending that we're not going to talk about, but the ending was good. I don't think
Shit.
they could have ended it much better, to be
It
honest.
was very crazy.
I
Very
was like,
crazy. I low-key didn't expect that. High key.
mm-mm. When it started to pop off, I was like, well, how they gonna wrap this up? Like
Exactly.
this is getting real crazy. And then it's also like you don't even know with the
Yeah.
ending what really happened.
Yeah.
Because you saw one thing, and then at the end, it didn't look like that. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? It looked like something else happened. So you're like, you'll never know. And then the
Yeah.
whole thing with the deal, that was crazy. I'm not gonna say, but with the deal that went on,
That, honestly, I want to talk about it, but
I
like
was like, fuck.
we're not gonna talk about it.
You already
But
know when the devil's around, there's deals are made. So we'll just leave it at that. But there was I was like, whoa, no way, dude. It was sad.
Yeah, it was
sad.
very, definitely.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give the movie a 4, solid 4 out of 5.
Okay,
It wasn't like spectacular, but it was really good.
it's good. I would say like a 4.3 out of
Okay,
5.
you give it,
I liked
yeah.
it a lot. I just did not like the 70s voice, but it bothers me, but
I
it's
gotta look
okay.
that up.
It's just because it didn't see, again, it's only because it seemed too modern. They were modern ass people, which is fine. But you know what I mean? Probably, maybe not.
Do you mean is there like some slang like where they could have like talked like more 70s like verbiage, or is it
It's
just the
yeah, it's like the
voice?
tone of voice. It's not even slang. It's just like the way that they talk is you just look up interviews from the 70s and you'll see how they all speak. It's very, you hear how I'm talking right now. No
Yeah.
one from the 70s would talk like this, you
Oh,
know?
and yeah, you say they were talking like modern.
Like classic. Yeah, they talk more classically.
Interesting. I gotta look in there. I didn't even notice that. That's
Actually, I
wild.
think when I watched the trailer, someone said that too. They were like, "Oh, it bothers me that they don't sound like they're from the 70s." And I was like,
Really?
"Yeah." And I was like, "Oh shit, they don't." And then yeah, I didn't stop hearing it.
Did you see how many production studios were had a hand in making this movie in the beginning? It was like it didn't end. Like the beginning where they showed how many
Yes, there was like
studios?
five, bro. There were like five
Five
fucking,
studios.
yeah, a lot.
After a while, I was like, "This got to be a parody. This got to be fake." Because at the end, it was like Spooky Studios, and I was like, "I've never heard of that. I've never
Yeah,
heard of Spooky Studios." I
studios.
was like,
Wow,
that just sounds fake." I was like,
that's so
"Spooky
funny.
Studios," like, and half of them I've never seen before. Like the first
Exactly.
one, I was like, "Okay, I've seen that," and then I'm like, "Okay, who's that? Okay, who's that?" And then it just keeps going. I'm like, how many studios made this freaking movie? So all these studios and nobody said, "Hey, we need some '70s voices here."
Right? Like y'all can work on it a little bit because actors are able to do that. They can work on the different,
Yeah,
you're not going to be from in the 40s talking like you're in 2020.
yeah, like saying like "bruh,"
It's kind of like in the
"what up,
notebook.
brah?"
In the notebook, they spoke like they were in the 40 or the third, was it the 40s it was set? They spoke like it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, you'll peep it if you like look into it. But yeah.
Well, it can't be perfect, you know. You can't. It can't be a perfect movie, but it was good. It was a fun watch. Definitely recommend it. It was
Yeah, it is
definitely up there. I
very good.
did. I don't know. I guess I did enjoy the first Omen more because
Yeah.
I gave that like a 4. It was like a higher 4
Okay.
range. Maybe I don't know if I gave it like a 4.3 or 4.5, but you got to see that. That you're gonna like.
Watched the second one, right?
Say that again. Say that again.
Watched the second one recently.
The Omen.
Yeah, or was it the first? Oh
It's
no,
like
you're
a
talking about the
prequel.
versions, two versions, right?
Yeah, well, this Omen is a prequel to the first one.
So you like the first one though better.
I haven't seen them in a long time. We
Okay.
were supposed to watch it, but then I got caught up. I went on break and everything. We were supposed to watch all the Omens, and I just haven't seen. I started to watch the first one, but I can't make a concrete decision on because I saw that one the remake when I was like a little kid when it came out.
Got
So
you.
we got a rain check on the Omen talk. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about
we're
it.
back to this.
We're gonna bring it back, but you'll like the first Omen. You'll like
hmm
that. And
I'm sure I
now
will,
we
honestly.
got to review the new Terror movie coming out next month.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I watched the commercial for that last night.
What do you think about it?
Honestly, I have to see more because the commercial I saw wasn't too good, no offense, but maybe it'll be better than I think because I'm very optimistic. So we'll see. But it only didn't look too good because of it was the editing was silly. So maybe it was just a trailer, you get me? But it
Yeah.
wasn't even a trailer, it was like a 10-second ad of it. You
Okay.
get me? So maybe it was just that. But I gotta see it because obviously I'm interested in tarot and things like that. So I
Yeah.
want to see how you represent it.
We got to review that. We'll do something about that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
remember seeing the trailer, but I don't remember anything about it. And
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna watch it now. I'm just gonna go into the movie.
yeah, right.
I'm
Let's
just
see
gonna
what
go in
happens
because
type shit.
nowadays that's what you should do anyway because they give away all the stuff in the trailer anyway.
They
So
do. They really do.
I don't even if I see a movie that I kind of like it, if I just like the vibe, I'm not even gonna watch the whole trailer. I'm just gonna
Don't watch the
shut it off
trailer
now and watch it later. That's it. That's
because
it.
they play in your face.
So we'll be back with a tarot review,
Yes, we
and
will.
maybe we'll do some tarot stuff. Maybe we'll talk about tarot on that one. You want
Maybe
to do
we
something
can.
about that?
Yeah, we
We'll
can.
break down the tarot cards. We get into that. Get into the tarot world.
Tarot does not lie.
I'm
So
excited for the Planet of the Apes movie too. Are you into those?
I'm not into it, but I'm down for it. I don't care. I
Okay.
will watch
Because
anything like that.
those have been out for. I'm surprised they're making a new one. They haven't made one in a long
They're
time.
very early 2000. I
They
can't
were like
remember.
2000. I think the first one came out. Well, the first one of this series was 2011.
11.
So they've
Okay.
been making these for a hot minute, and this is the fourth installment. So I've been excited. That comes out next month too. Like, and The Strangers comes out. I know you're not into those kind of movies, like the masked killing movies, right?
Oh yeah, I don't like murders,
Love
blood
them, love
everywhere,
them, love it.
but everything else, I'm
Yeah, I can't wait for
interested.
The Strangers next month. And the you're into the Crow, like the Crow movies. You ever seen that?
Oh my goodness. No, I haven't, but I know of that
Oh,
movie.
well, they're
I
coming
saw
out with a Crow remake, and people seem to like the look of it.
they're doing a remake.
Yeah,
Interesting.
with the
Should watch
dude
that.
from It. You know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so it must be good,
He's
I
gonna play the
guess.
Crow. Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Talented, yes.
But we got a lot to review coming up soon. Next
Yes,
month
we
is
do.
gonna be good. Like I said, we got tarot. Plug anything you gotta plug, your social media, all that stuff before we get out of here.
And you already know I was gonna say the Eternal Starlight first, but honestly, I might as well. I'm Electrasoul. You could find me on Electrasoul 444. Electrasoul, just like that. 444, not 443, not
Now 44444
8. Literally, just
444
no other
period.
fake. And then I got the Eternal Starlight, my sisters and I. That will be at the Eternal Starlight. So on Instagram, we're dropping a YouTube channel eventually. We're setting it up and everything like that. And we have Twitter/X, TikTok, things like that. So you can find Electra Soul and the Eternal Starlight on any of those social media platforms. And we intend nothing but the best. And that's it, period.
Nothing but the best, baby. Peace and
Yup.
love. See you next
As
time. Jesus is
y'all.
King. Jesus is
Yep.
King.
Yes. Beautiful hat. Love you so
Thank
much.
you.